Welcome to the BBC's Law and Order podcast. Today we'll be exploring the complex issue of what drives people to commit criminal acts. Joining me in the studio is Dr. Williamson, a renowned criminologist and professor of sociology at the University of Oxford. Thank you for being here, Dr. Williamson.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to discuss this important topic.
To start, can you give us an overview of the main reasons why individuals engage in criminal behavior?
Certainly, the motivations behind criminal acts are multifaceted and can involve a combination of social, economic, and psychological factors. From a legal perspective, we generally categorize crimes into two broad categories: mala in se and mala prohibita.
Can you explain the difference between those two terms?
Absolutely. Mala in se crimes are considered inherently wrong or immoral, such as murder, rape, robbery, and assault. These are acts that are universally condemned by society and are prohibited by both moral and legal codes. Mala prohibita crimes, on the other hand, are acts that are only considered illegal because they are prohibited by law rather than being inherently unethical. Examples would include regulatory offenses, such as tax evasion, violations of environmental regulations, or driving without a license.
That's a helpful distinction. So what are some of the key drivers behind these different types of criminal behavior?
There are several prominent theories in criminology that attempt to explain the root causes of crime. One is the strain theory, which posits that individuals may turn to crime when they are unable to achieve socially acceptable goals through legitimate means, such as obtaining wealth or status. This can lead to feelings of frustration and a desire to engage in deviant behavior as a coping mechanism. Another influential theory is the social learning theory, which suggests that people learn criminal behavior through their interactions with others, particularly within their social and familial environments. If an individual is exposed to and reinforced for criminal acts from a young age, they are more likely to adopt those behaviors as their own.
That's fascinating. What about other factors that may contribute to criminal conduct?
Absolutely. Mental health issues and substance abuse disorders can also be significant risk factors for criminal behavior. Individuals suffering from conditions like antisocial personality disorder, psychopathy, or severe depression may have a diminished capacity for empathy and impulse control, increasing the likelihood of engaging in violent or property crimes. Additionally, poverty, lack of educational and employment opportunities, and exposure to trauma or abuse can all increase an individual's vulnerability to criminal involvement, particularly in the case of juvenile delinquency and gang-related activities.
You mentioned juvenile delinquency. Can you elaborate on how the criminal justice system approaches crimes committed by minors?
The juvenile justice system is designed to handle cases involving individuals under the age of 18 with the goal of rehabilitation and reintegration rather than pure punishment. Juvenile offenders may face a range of dispositions such as diversion programs, probation, community service, or placement in juvenile detention facilities. The rationale behind this more lenient approach is the recognition that young people's brains are still developing, and they may be more responsive to intervention and counseling aimed at addressing the underlying causes of their criminal behavior. This is in contrast to the adult criminal justice system, which is generally more punitive in nature.
That's an important distinction. Are there any other notable differences between the adult and juvenile justice systems?
Yes, there are several key differences. Juvenile proceedings are typically more informal and confidential, with the emphasis on protecting the privacy and rehabilitation of the young offender. Additionally, juveniles have different rights and due process protections than adults, such as the right to have their parents or guardians present during questioning and the ability to have their records sealed or expunged if they successfully complete their sentence. Another critical difference is the concept of status offenses, which are acts that would not be considered crimes if committed by an adult, such as truancy, running away from home, or underage alcohol consumption. And these types of behaviors are handled within the juvenile justice system as a means of providing guidance and support to the young person, rather than imposing traditional criminal sanctions.
Thank you for that comprehensive overview. Before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to share about the complex issue of criminal behavior and the justice system's response?
I think it's important to emphasize that the causes of crime are multifaceted and that a one-size-fits-all approach to crime prevention and intervention is unlikely to be effective. A holistic, evidence-based approach that addresses the social, economic, and psychological factors contributing to criminal conduct is essential. Additionally, as a society, we must continually evaluate and refine our criminal justice policies to ensure that they are fair, humane, and focused on rehabilitation and reintegration, rather than solely punishment. By understanding the root causes of crime and tailoring our responses accordingly, we can work towards creating a more just and equitable system that enhances public safety while also upholding the fundamental rights and dignity of all individuals.
Thank you, Dr. Williamson, for this insightful discussion. We've covered a lot of ground, from the legal distinctions between different types of crimes to the various theories and factors that contribute to criminal behavior, as well as the unique approach of the juvenile justice system. This has been a fascinating exploration of a complex and important topic.
Thank you, it's been my pleasure. I hope this dialogue has provided listeners with a deeper understanding of the multifaceted nature of crime and the criminal justice system's efforts to address it.
Before we go, let's test our listeners' comprehension with a quick quiz. I'll ask 10 multiple-choice questions based on the information we've covered today.